Let's dig in maybe a little bit to how does one become the mushroom man? And feel free to go back as far as you want on that journey, because I know you shared a bit about it at the retreat as well, just kind of what brought you to this point and why you're passionate about it. But yeah, feel free to go in whatever direction you want with that, and I'll just pick up from what you're putting down.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope we got a few minutes. It's a bit of a story.
We got time. We got time, man.
I'll keep it as brief as I can. But I mean, yeah, so for me, getting into this line of work, it just kind of happened. But when I look back at it and what led my wife and I into where we are now with it, in terms of, we've got two businesses. We've got a research and development side to it, and then we've got a CPG, which is consumer packaged good line of functional mushroom products. So what led us there? Well, we wind the clock back, way back when. I've been with my wife 22 years now. When she was 28 and we had our son, he was 2 years old, Nolan. There was a point in time in which she couldn't walk down the stairs and she couldn't eat. She was eating through like a straw. And this all came on very suddenly. And we were like, what's going on? And it turns out it was a condition called psoriatic arthritis, in which it's an overproduction of skin cells. That's how it presents on the surface of your skin. And then the arthritis component is actually what's in the joints. And so this combination of these two things pairing together would mean that it would move, like rheumatoid arthritis, it would move around in her body and present in different areas. And yeah, I remember her saying to me, like, because we were very active people and always have been, and she was crying to me one day and she said, like, you should go. Like, I'm going to hold you back and I don't want to hold you back. And I was like, that's not even an option. Like, what are you talking about, babe? Like, we're going to figure this out. So like everything, like anyone, you go and you do a bunch of research. And after about 2 months, it just so happened there was this research study that was coming along, and it was for this injection, once a month injection called Symphony. And it was a biologic. And we enrolled her right away. We got her in. And she got the placebo, of course, for the first 6 months. So she was no better. And she was just like, I don't know, like, this is so bad. There was tears every night. And then the 6-month trial ended. She got the real deal in terms of what they were offering. And within 4 days, all symptoms gone. Like, it was remarkable. And we were like, this is the miracle drug, right? Here we go. So, fast forward, her taking that drug once a month, to the tune of about $8,000 a month, which not all of it was covered under medical care. So, we're scraping together everything we have to make that work at that point in time. It was a lot of money. It's still a lot of money. And over the course of her taking that 12 years, she got skin cancer 3 times.
Jeez.
And we had decided, she had decided more than we, but she had decided if that's the worst that's going to come of this and I can still live my life, I would rather be able to live a full life than live a life in which it can't be full and deal with this every day and the pain of it. So I said, okay, that's what it is. Away we go. On the 12th year of taking it, I believe it was the 12th year, she was driving my daughter. At this point, we had another child. And she was driving my daughter and she had a seizure while she was driving. And of course, so she gets rushed into the hospital, and we have an MRI done on her brain. And she's got this white matter built up, which the doctor said, well, that's really weird, because that would be something that you would typically see in like a 70 to 80-year-old person. And we were like, what? And he started asking questions like, are you guys healthy? And yeah, we explained it all. But the only thing that we couldn't figure out was this damn injection. Like, it kept coming back to like, well, what's in this thing, right? But because it was in this study, they were not releasing all the information in terms of what was in it. So we didn't know. But that was the only thing that we could conclude. And so at that point, just like 12 years before, we were like, pump the brakes, like, whoa, we got to figure something else out. So that's where we went into the rabbit hole of mushrooms, and really started to do a bunch of research. It wasn't mushrooms per se that we went down into to look and explore. It's just where the research kept coming back in Eastern medicine, and how this was, so many conditions, whether it be arthritis, whether it be inflammation, whether it be like brain fog and brain decay in terms of like Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that were all predisposition for. What do people do? What trials are there? What information? What scientific papers there are? So we read, I'm telling you, man, over the course of a year, we probably read thousands of articles on this stuff. And we became like mushroom nerds over it. And so at that point, we ordered a bunch of products from the internet, Amazon, everywhere we get our hands on it, and tested them. And I was like, well, let's test them because we want to know what's in these products. And what we found is there was a lot of like just filler in them. And we're going, well, if we're trying to cut out wheat for inflammation, I don't know how much you know about that, but like wheat's a big one for inflammation. Why do we want to be taking that? And if we're seeking a therapeutic dose, how do we get that when all these products out there, like 95% of them were just filler? And we were really like saddened by that. So of course, being the person that I am as a project manager at that time, I'm going, well, we can figure this out. How hard could it be? I think that was kind of the beginning of how the whole thing started in terms of the mushroom exploration. And so we scoured the earth and we took samples from everywhere you can think of, and then some places in between. And what we were really seeking was organic and mushrooms that were grown in nature on logs, because that's where all the beneficial compounds come from. They don't come from being grown on like wheat or rice or anything like that. So we sourced a bunch of stuff, brought it in, tested it all, and then formulated it ourselves and put these formulations together that we started taking. And about 6 months into that is where we really incorporated the business at that point in time and said, hey, you know, if this is working for us, there's got to be some other people that would like it. Because our family started asking, like, what's going on with Brandy? How is she so much better? And, oh, here, try this. Oh, really? Can I get more of that? And we're like, yeah, I guess so. Okay, we'll bring some more in. And then it kind of just mushroomed into
So
literally, I was like, yeah, I'm bad with it. But it really just grew into creating a line of products and putting a team together. And I came in here one day to the office, a consulting firm, and said, hey, we're going to grow, or not, I did say we're going to grow mushrooms. I said, let's start a mushroom business. And everyone looked at me and they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, let's start a mushroom business. And my wife was like, sure, let's do it. So we literally did it. And we put a license into Health Canada at the same time for something that's called a controlled substance dealer's license to enable us to grow, harvest, and work with psychedelic mushrooms at that same time. Because that research, there was a lot of like psychedelic components that kept coming drawn into that initial research. And for us, we were like, that's really cool. Let's learn more about it at the same time. So that's really how both companies were formed initially, Trevor.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch the full unedited episode, go ahead and click over here. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me.